y'all, what's up? Welcome back to Lavender Lemonade. I hope everybody is having a great and prosperous week. How is everybody doing? Aisha, how you doing this week?
Oh, I'm good. I'm doing good. It's been alright,
Aisha, who you today?
It's been a hit or miss week. It's just been a little crazy. I don't know. I'm hormonal. That's what it is.
Is that what it is?
It was a great week. It's a good week. Quick week for me. No, boring week.
Yeah, it was.
I was saying nothing much going on.
A lot going on, but I made it through.
Yes, you made it to the end.
Thank you, Jesus, for that. Ooh. When it rains, it pours.
That's true.
Yeah, because it's been raining all week in DFW. Like, y'all, I love rain, but it's been raining nonstop. I just don't like to be out in it.
I have no problem with it. I love it.
Oh, that's cute.
Tonight is a good night.
Yeah, that's cute. But when you having to drive through traffic,
You're not driving tonight. I am. So
it don't matter. It's like going to work is stressful.
She said tonight is a good night.
I love this weather. Like that's why I'm.
It's
like,
been causing me to over.
Because I'm like, I can have a cup of tea, I can be chill, put a movie on.
All you get is a blanket and no man. Just
right now. Wait a minute. Don't bring up the M word.
Okay.
I'm weak.
We ain't gonna talk about
So,
Yes, we got this,
man.
I was say we got a mahogany teakwood candle from Bath and Body Works open right now.
Yes, gotta get them testosterones going in the air.
This rain has made me oversleep all this week.
Okay, you
Like-
a boss though, so you can come in when you want to. Don't
But it was
worry.
like an hour. Like, y'all,
Don't worry.
this morning I woke up at 6. I should have been in my car almost like on the other side of the town. At 6 o'clock. I woke up
I
at
should have
6.
clocked that. Clock in is 8:30. I didn't leave the house till 9:20
Oh,
or
man.
8:20.
you have
It
a
does
time
make you
stamp or you?
sleep.
Yeah, time stamp.
This
Clock
weather
in.
makes you extra sleepy.
Oh, really? Interesting.
You time stamp like digitally?
Oh, with my phone.
Oh, okay.
That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Really nice.
But I'm a very honest person, so I do wait till I get to the park.
The building.
You
I
want?
got
Do you do it at the parking lot, the door, or the desk,
Depends on the day.
or the elevator?
Oh.
Today was a parking lot type of deal, but I normally wait till I get.
Because you're on the premises, technically you've made.
Yeah, because they can meet you at your door and be like,
and at this place, they meet you at the sidewalk.
because I don't clock out until I'm walking out the door. I don't clock out, come back to my desk and pick up things. No, I pick up all my stuff and then clock out, because people get to calling you to their desk and it's like, I love y'all,
Yeah.
but
I got to go.
To a certain
It's time
extent.
to go.
To a certain extent, like
Right.
I do have a life outside of here.
Yeah, definitely.
So has anything caught y'all eye this week that y'all want to talk about as far as
Caught my eye.
We're not talking about the guys at
My
Kroger's
bad.
or anything like that.
You gotta clarify that. because
Oh, okay.
I've had some eye-catching moments.
I feel like I've been dealing with a lot within myself, and I remember I was praying. I was praying about like asking God to remove things from me that I can't see myself. That I'm like, I walk and I'm like, okay, like there's nothing wrong with the actions that I portray, because a lot of times you don't see what's wrong with you until God puts it in front of you. And so I was talking to my friends this week about how controlling I am. I'm very controlling, and I was like, oh wow. And I just realized in certain situations it stuck out to me more than it would usually have. And so I was like, oh. So I think it's been a week of growth, I guess, a little bit, trying anyways, just trying to let go of that, like how I am. That's just how I am. I don't know. I need to pray about it though.
If it's
Yeah,
a process, it's going to be a
mhm.
process because it didn't take you overnight to get that way.
Yeah, but and you guys know I never realized that I was that way. And honestly, until we all start working together, I was like, oh my God. Like, like I'm very like, and so I was like, ooh. So, I mean,
I would say
that stuck out for me this week.
yeah, we don't realize a lot of the stuff, like how we are as people, until we get placed in the situations. Because the one thing I used to think I had a lot of patience, and I don't. Like, I have enough, But like once I'm done and I'm over that cliff, I'm done. Like, and I had to catch myself in like how I talk to my employees. I had to be mindful of that, because sometimes I click out and it's like, I told that to Ebony this week, like, and I told it to my coworker. I was like, a lot of people have their issues that they deal with is a lot of times it's stuff like sexual sin and theft, all that kind of stuff. Mine is anger. And it's one of those things. It's not necessarily like I'm ready to fight you. Like literally, I will say stuff that's mean, rude. I will kind of, go for the jugular. Like when I'm arguing with people, I will go for the, you know what I'm saying?
It's the worst thing you could possibly
do. Yeah, and I've hurt a lot of people's feelings like that, and in hindsight, it's not cool.
Yeah.
And so now it's like I'm trying to, like, when the pastor said a couple of weeks ago about the clapback spirit, like I'm trying to work on her a lot. So like even work emails, like don't sit up here and be just, okay, so since you saying that, let's go. And I'll go and pull up screenshots and put them in the emails. And
is that a clapback spirit, or is that just confirming that this has happened, or you knew about this, you just didn't?
No, Crystal was doing it from place to clap.
I think it depends on your posture.
No, Crystal was like, I'm about to show you these receipts.
Yeah, this is where your heart's posture.
Definitely, and it's hard sometimes to catch that when you're in the heat of the moment, to be like, hold up, like this is out of self. So I think it's been eye-opening, I will say that, to just be like, oh dang, like you have to revert back.
I think that too, that place of reflection that we have comes with our growth in Christ. Like
definitely,
we're putting in more than I know I am putting in more than I've ever put in, as far as like just waking up daily, reading a devotional and stuff like that. Like I am able to read it and apply it. Yeah. Like normally I'll read it, I'm like, oh, let me go to sleep. I don't know about this boy. Like what his story got to do with me? And like I read was about Gideon and Jude and Judges, the book of Judges. Yeah, 6 and 7. I read it this week, and I was like, he was chosen. God chose him to go, these people who I want you to defeat. And like it was crazy because he had a big army at first, and God was like, nah, that's too many people. Like, you gotta cut some of these people off because they're gonna say that they did it out of self. Yeah. And I'm like, wait, the first thing I go to battle, I want all my people with me. But he's like, for me to get for them to see that it was me who did this, you have to knock off a lot of these people. And then just being able to apply that, like every day, we have to come from a standpoint that he chose us. And so whatever he's equipped us with, that's what we are to utilize. So it's like sometimes you're like, well, I don't know, fighting this battle, or if I'm at work, I don't think I can handle this position or do what my supervisors ask me to do because I feel like it's above me. But if they ask you to do it, all I can do is say, hey, God, me and you, let's go. And then he'll do the rest. And then after you walk in, it's like, oh, that's because it wasn't up to me to begin with anyway. And that's exactly what in that book, it was him and 100. And they blew their horns, and before you know it, the people that they were fighting each other. They didn't have to lift a finger. And I was like, that's eye-opening to me, because it's like, so what you telling me is, all I gotta do, I don't have to do anything. All you're asking me to do is say, yes, I will go. And the rest, exactly, rest in him, and you're gonna fight everything without me lifting a finger. Like, no sweat, no blood, no nothing. And I was like,
that's good.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
So that was one of my biggest things. I think I started one morning without a Devo. And that morning, went to hell in a handbasket. It's like everything happened so quick. And I was in my office, like, I have to catch a break. Because everything I read, everything I see, every person that comes at me, I feel like they're coming at me like attacking wise. And that's just because I didn't start my day in a posture of rest. You know what I mean? Or in a posture of focusing on him. Like everything you do, everything you say is going to be for him. It's coming out of him. Yeah, everybody could have got it that day. I had to, it was about 2:00, and I was like, I have to read something. Even if it's just the last 2 hours of the day, I got to give it to you, because I can't continue to work like this.
Do you all feel like sometimes it's hard to be like, to still have that, I know at least for me, to have that, I want maybe knowledge, or to be like, okay, I'm doing it not out of self, because sometimes I feel like it clashes, and sometimes it's like, okay, I know for myself, sometimes I forget that it's not about me.
Oh yeah, most
And
definitely.
so, like, what has been y'all's experience as far as that goes?
Serving in church is that's the one thing that you are literally, for me, it taught me so much. It's like, I'm not doing this for me at all. I'm doing it for the people that I'm serving, and I'm doing it for the people that I'm serving under, all that kind of stuff. Because sometimes you'll be really, really tired. Because, the four of us, we serve all 3 services and on Wednesday night. So sometimes we're really, really tired. And that patience part, like somebody come up to you and say something, you be like, you know what? And then you have to, God has to check you sometimes and like, oh, okay, Crystal, why are you here? And that's the reason why I do like when we have those moments, when we do have those training classes with church, and they're like, hey, remember the why that you're doing it. Why are you doing this? And it's like, I'm not doing this for me. So you got to keep in mind that you're called to a higher purpose. Even like with work sometimes. Like, I could go into work and people are having jacked up days. Somebody is going through a situation where they just got notice that they have to vacate their premises and they don't have enough money to move. They got a couple of kids and stuff like that. And, it's like one of those things. It's like they snapped at you and they weren't meaning it, because you were just simply doing your job. Like, hey, you're constantly late and I need you to be here on time, and they just start going off on you, and you have to be like, you know what, I could really say something. Because it was a couple of weeks ago somebody did that, and they came back and they apologized. And they was like, Crystal, this is what's going on with me. So we have to sometimes when we're serving people, we have to take ourselves out of it. And it's hard, but that's, like she said, starting your day with the devotionals. I try to come into work, like when I go into work, I try to put on praise and worship music. And the one thing I noticed, even though I may not be listening to it, I may be up doing other things, I know the office flows a whole lot smoother when praise and worship music is being played.
Out loud, or
Oh
wow, that's cool.
My music's out loud, out loud.
Yeah.
So they know
That's
when they come in
cool.
my office, they know. They're like, I've had people ask me, "Where's your music? Like, why is your music playing today?" So yeah, it's a reasoning. And then, like she was saying, just piggybacking off that is like, I notice now, you're aware of the different feelings that you get when serving from self. You feel like you said, tired. You feel the frustration. Whereas when I serve with God's joy, it's more or less like I'm floating on earth.
Yeah.
I'm like, where I get this strength from, and why am I so happy? You start like, and that's because I know it's not out of me. And now I'm getting comfortable moving. I'm getting comfortable moving in that, rather than out of the frustration. Because I think
It's a flash warning. Put your phone on silence.
yeah.
Oh, yours.
I took
But I think,
I'm sorry.
But I think we get so used to moving in a, how do you say it? Not a confused world, but just an unsettling world. Chaotic world.
Yeah.
So that's a normal for us. So frustrations, being in hurt, pain, aching, that stuff, we move out of that because we're used to that. But when we start moving in the realm of God, like joy, happiness is so unfamiliar to us, sometimes we like to revert back to those old feelings just because it's a comfort spot.
Wow,
But I'm now growing in comfort with the little feelings and the joy that I have, to where I think that's where we get that realization of, well, that frustration is just something's not right. Because we're growing to the point that we're actually comfortable in God's skin, that this happiness, it's real. This joy, it's real. This strength, it's real. This is not just a good day. This is a forever thing. This is me and him.
And I think a lot of the times, for myself, I'd be like, afraid that it's gonna go away eventually.
Yeah. Oh my God. That was the beginning of this year. I used to tell her all the time. I used to be like, pinch me, please. Somebody pinch me.
It's like I'm
because
floating, but when is this gonna, like, when is something gonna happen and it's gonna just be gone?
Because you're so used to the bottom falling out, and that's something like when we first became roommates, and like once everything started, like it was flowing real smoothly, and even we were roommates when we first got out of college, and it was like it was much easier this time for some reason. It was just so smooth, and like everything was coming together, and it was like, why we didn't do this in the beginning?
Yeah, it seemed like an easy transition for y'all. It was like one day y'all weren't living together, and the next day it was like, oh yeah, we live together.
And the crazy part, we didn't go over each other's houses like that. We didn't, you know how like some people be at each other's house all the time. Like, no, we hung out a lot. Don't get me wrong, but it was like she be at her house, I'm at my house. We weren't like. Every once in a while, we might have a weekend where she'll come over to my house, or either I'll go over her house. But it was never like that. But it's just like everything flows so smoothly, and like she said, work was moving smoothly. It still is. Personal life, family members, just our friendships.
A shift in perspective. I honestly think
that's what they talked about in church. I feel like they was talking about perspective in church.
We know they hit it a lot.
Yeah,
they repeat it a lot.
Yes, because I do feel like with the week that I've had, I feel like it could have easily been worse if I would have allowed like circumstances. But it's like, we all know God's in control.
Yeah, and I feel like when you have that perspective that God's got it puts a lot less stress on you. So it's just like
it's like subtle, like okay,
He's gonna make a way.
Exactly. That's that peace. Don't know where it comes from, but it's like that blanket. I'm good.
I'm about to say the funny thing that you say that is like, because before I think we went to people, like we joke about being single and everything, how we want this season to be over, but at the same time, I know for me, knowing this piece that I'm in, I don't want to step out of order and go pick up something that's not for me and just not have that peace anymore.
A pair of pants.
I wouldn't do it. Y'all gonna have to call somebody for that bell money. Tell you where it's at. I got it stashed.
So I'm about to say, we joke about it all the time, but it's like I wouldn't dare do that and step out of order, because I remember when I was dating and dealing with dudes that I ain't had no business dealing with, like I never felt this kind of peace. I never felt this kind of like I'm going to sleep at night, no anxiety. I wasn't having depression like, oh my God, he ain't called me back today, hitting the old H-Town from Insecure ghosting me.
I got some, where is he at? Looking at your phone every 5 seconds. Okay, you haven't texted me yet. Let me text him and make sure.
This is the kicker, when you could be in the house with somebody and not feel safe. Like, how can I have somebody here and I still not feel safe?
Or like when you're not picking up the phone with me, or your attitudes and action is because you're dealing with somebody else, and it's like that I don't want to go. And that was one of the issues I dealt with in the past, is dealing with guys I knew I ain't had no business dealing with.
I think I never realized that I didn't have any business with that, because I never looked at anything in a perspective as if God is supposed to bring me the right person. So I was always like out of self, like, well, I want to be with this person, or I like this person, so I'm going to talk to this person type deal, or I'm crushing on him, or it was just kind of like, and I never thought about it in that perspective, like, oh, God is gonna bring you a certain somebody that's
same here. That's that whole control thing.
Yeah.
Like when you said control, you're not the only one. Like that's one of my biggest things. When it comes to time, it comes to agendas, it comes to all that, I have to be in the midst of that stuff. So like this year, I'm getting better. Like you said, we're maturing together, we're growing together in it. But that was my biggest thing. So when it came forth, like I was raised in a church, so I understood God was there. I was told God's gonna pick, but for me, it was like you got to put forth that work. So I felt like if that means I gotta put forth that work, I gotta go back here. I gotta pick him up. I gotta fix him up. I gotta polish him up. And he might not be no diamond yet. He might be some cold, but if I put some pressure on him, and I wait it out.
Build a man workshop.
Right. If I wait it out, I'm gonna get my diamond. Right. And my diamond ain't never come, because God said that's not what I picked for you. I didn't ask you. I didn't ask you to take the coal and change it. That's my job.
That's what he was.
That whole process is me.
Oh, I get what
you get the diamond at the end. You feel
I don't even think it was cold. I don't even think it was cold. They was garbage. They weren't even recyclable.
It was trash. I'm done with you, girl. Not even recyclable.
Because it's technically first day of fall, so the biggest thing that we always try to, I know for me, it was cuddle buddy season.
Okay.
So let me go on and see. Let me go on the scout. Let me see, who I need to get with. You know,
who can keep you warm?
For real.
Netflix and stuff.
I posted my post at the beginning of August talking about something. The shop is open. Like I need a man's, okay?
But the thing is,
Take your roster out.
Send them to Aisha 95. I'm just kidding.
But it's one of those things. Like that was something I think back in my mid to late 20s, I was really like, I need to hurry up and get booed up, because you get on social media. Oh, this person, they booed up. They booed up. Okay, so it's getting about that time, because you want somebody to take home for Christmas. You want.
I was tired of playing spades by myself, or not having a partner. I can't get on the spades table because I ain't got no partner.
I'm so glad my best. Well, I'm not glad, but she's single. So like, if we do it together. We be riding out together. I need a spades partner. She got me. So
I ain't played spades
I don't even know how to play spades.
Girl, we gotta teach you. We'll have a spades night one night.
That's gonna give you a black card for real. For real.
Nah, I don't know how to play dominoes.
I learned how to play dominoes recently.
That's too much counting. I'll be like, whatever.
I'm getting mine. Self in order.
But now spades, I got it.
So do you want to get to the topic, y'all, for today? The topic is
Cuddle
Buddies and Thunder Buddies.
Yeah, because it's thunder and lightning right now.
Thunder Buddies and what was it?
Cuddle Buddies.
And
like, what's the difference between them, right? Or are they the same
they're
thing?
the same.
Thunder Buddies.
Well, I mean, similar. Thunder Buddy is your protection.
More of a situational thing.
Yeah.
So it depends. Like, I'm seeking this person out of, I guess, a stressor or a...
Wasn't it cuffing in Thunder Buddies? Being cuffed and having a Thunder Buddy?
Right. So cuffing is an actual season where it's a longer period of time, and then your Thunder Buddy is like, okay, well, right now I feel a little lonely or empty, or I'm actually going through some financial trouble, so let me go pick this one up.
Get cuffed.
And some of these people bring more burdens than they do bring help.
It's true.
I dealt with that.
I'm about to say, because one thing I don't understand how people, you're not ready to date. You're not financially ready to date. You're not mentally ready to date. You just not physically ready to date. Why is you out here? I'm not talking about weight.
If you
I'm not talking about weight or nothing, because I'm a big girl myself. I'm not talking about that at all. I'm just saying, like, you just not ready.
Just stuff broken.
Oh, good God. Just know they're not ready to date. We're just gonna take all that
In
back.
0 way.
They're not ready to date,
not
but they ain't got no job,
So
and they trying to date.
Yeah,
That it's just,
Big problem.
but actually, that's you though. That's your thing. But I just don't know. I don't get that why some people do that.
They don't
and then you
get
can't
it.
say it's just guys, because I know some girls who do that, and it's like, you got kids. Girl, I know some girls who
Where
do
would you
it.
guys say that came from? Like, where did we go from where it was black and white, we're dating, to that switched between now we have cuffing season, or I'm just talking to this one, but I can have this one? Like, where did that shift come from? Or was it, do you guys think it was always around and just not talked about?
I want to be a thought bop in the summertime, so I want to get summertime fine, and I want to be a thought bop. I want to, have a roster, have a good team of people that I'm working with.
My question is where that become okay?
I think people used to do stuff like that, because my dad told me of a story of people who would go out in the piney woods and mess around like back in the day. So things were happening like that, but I think they were less prevalent. Now just about everyone is doing these things, and it's like, this is not the way.
But it's kind of like that picture I sent y'all earlier talking about, I'd rather have the bond versus the title, because you have a lot of people out there who don't want the title at all, or either they'll say, I've heard people say, well, we don't have to call each other boyfriend, girlfriend, or we don't have to call each other married, or insecure old dude told Molly that, we have an open relationship, just so that they can mess around.
Why do people do that though?
Lack of commitment.
Because I guess there's too many options. You got a lot of options these days, and it's more prevalent. Like
it is.
like
that's
you
why,
have
like,
social
AIDS
media
is on the rise. There's even a new strain of, my sister was telling me, one of those diseases, not herpes, but gonorrhea that they can't even cure.
Yeah.
Every time they like put a different, like, what would you call it, like a medicine on it, like in the labs to figure out how to combat
it's
it's too strong. It just morphs into something else.
Oh!
But all these
that makes me itch. Yeah, you keep yourself to
I think,
yourself.
like you said, it's so many people are more accessible now.
Uh-huh.
So it's not like, oh, when I was just going in high school, this cat is who I like, and he gonna trail me all the way through college or anything like that. Like us going to college and social media, like there's nobody I cannot reach out to and at least shoot my shot. And a lot of these shots is not blanks. Like I can get a hit, and it could be temporary or whatever. So I can see
nobody's not shooting nothing down, really.
Yeah,
like
they for trying a lot of everything.
Yeah, they are really.
I would say a lot of people are open to doing just the cuddle buddy thing of like, I'll only come by your house to Netflix and chill and mess around, then I roll out.
Would you guys say that that's still in the same thing of how we said in that controlling? Because if I can control the situation and only say that this is what I want you in my life for,
I don't get hurt.
I don't get hurt, even though we do. But it's like I control that situation and I twist it the way I want it. So I feel like the puzzle that I'm putting together is going to work.
Yeah, because you're the one who can almost create that ending.
You can like easily get hurt doing that.
Doing what?
Like letting somebody come over, because it's building expectations. Oh, he always comes over and it is building a relationship without the title, without the commitment.
It's a false comfort. But yeah, I feel like we all been there. But you create that and you put that word on there because it's like I'm putting a Band-Aid on something that needs stitches, but I'm still controlling it. I keep that clean. Even though it's bleeding out.
Yeah.
And I'm about to say, we always
cotton ball.
Right.
And I'm about to say, and society has us believing that it's always us who catches feelings when it's actually the reverse.
You think they catch feelings?
Girl, I ain't never called nobody back that I done used to talk to, and now I'm like, you know what? I thought about you a couple of nights ago. Let me go on and call you back.
But my question is, I feel like you could tell that dudes catch feelings too, because half the flack you caught is because of
them saying I love you first or something like that. Because I can go on record saying I never told a dude I love you first.
I just think that females heal different than males do. A lot of the times we are hurt in the beginning and we deal with that hurt, but guys don't. They will drag it out and then they'll just start. Okay, I'm not hurt. I'm just gonna hook up with all these other.
I'm Lauren.
I'm hooking up with all these females. Whatever. Don't matter.
Right now, I'm still upset.
Why you can't talk?
Because why is
I'm not caught up.
Okay.
I can't talk about it.
Talk about
it. Go ahead and talk about it. I'm still watching.
Because you know, I think Lil H-Town is something wrong with him.
What? Who's Lil H-Town?
The one that she met in the
one with the light eyes. Nathan.
The light eyes.
AKA Kendrick. AKA
this is
the activist.
Yes. Oh gosh, he came back
on Instagram.
Oh,
he is so woke. Have y'all seen his Instagram?
No.
Yes, I follow him on Instagram, but it's like
But
I learned a lot from him.
Speaking of woke, Colin Kaepernick received Harvard
I seen that
today, I believe.
Was that that honorary degree or something? Was that? Are y'all talking about
looking
that?
at him too?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay,
Colin.
The boys coming.
It was the Raiders. It's the Raiders and was it the Ravens? Well, you don't know sports, so I can't even ask you.
There's no two teams looking at him.
I want to say
don't drag
I seen him on Wale's.
not dragging you.
I seen him on Wale's Instagram. I didn't realize how tall he was.
He's big.
Yeah, I was like, ooh.
He's taller.
He's tall.
He a tree. He
Quarterback.
a tree.
Quarterbacks are tall.
He a tree.
He is
tall
a tree.
and thin.
A tree.
This is
maybe Aisha style. Quarterback's legit Aisha style.
No, I was gonna say something.
But now her style's getting a little bit smaller than Colin. Colin usually kind of meaty for her. I would think.
I will.
Okay, go ahead.
He look good.
Yeah, come on, Elle.
I can't. So we have Crystal has a assumption out here She says that the light-skinned tall guys is trying to make a big comeback.
A big comeback.
He fit that match. I was thinking,
know, back in the day,
tall, light.
I want to say it started like with our mother's generation. They had this like tall, dark, and handsome thing going, and like we kind of latched on to it.
I latched.
And then it was like, well, poor little light guys got. Because I had to explain it to one of my coworkers. I was like, he's sensitive because he light skinned like Drake. And he was like, what are you talking about? He was like, well, so it's an ongoing running joke that light skinned guys are sensitive.
It's very long.
I love light brights. I
man.
I didn't start finding any like. I would say this year is probably.
I like brown skinned dude. I don't really like a really, really, really dark.
What is dark though? Because Idris Elba's chocolate.
I don't think he's attractive like that.
Like
I mean,
but his skin color though.
So that's the only thing.
He's daddy.
Yeah,
He's somebody
age.
daddy.
He too dark for me.
Oh, is he too dark too?
Yeah. I like black people. I love my black people.
Girl, you can give me something
But-
like that.
So Ebony likes the men
So all
who
you
like
see
the
is
mice.
teeth.
Okay,
here we go.
Okay, way back in the day. Listen, back in the day, my theory was
They
had to be darker than
The
me.
high from the
Listen, I need to see when we outside at night. Say like we walking from the car to the car from the movies. I only need to be able to see your teeth. That's like I wanted you dark.
This is what my mother taught me. She says, because you want them dark like that, because if you're upset with them, you just cut the light off on it. And then you can't see them no more. So that's how you keep them.
I'm about to say yeah.
She says, how you gonna cut your light out?
But all you gonna
and
see is the
light.
teeth smiling right next to you.
That's it.
He said, how you can't cut the light out on no light skinned brother?
Yeah, I
He
used to
gonna
cut off
shine
the light. He's
through.
still there.
I was like, thanks, baby, for being a light.
But you know what? This year, this year, I was like, well, that may be God. That gotta be God. Because I would never look at light guys and be like, oh, he's cute. He's cute.
I mean, but some have been attractive. Some.
Child.
But to me, they have to do extra stuff to look hardy to me. Like beards and just like, what is it, Pro?
When we was coming over here from
Kroger tonight.
girl, they were all.
Oh, so they had Kroger right now.
Kroger in the racetrack down the street from the church. The racetrack on 161, bro. I went to go get gas last night. I said, where are all these black men
Do
coming
they
from?
work in there?
No, they was coming to get gas and stuff. And this one, he held the door open for me. I was like, don't do that. I was like, you should keep your head up and just keep walking. I was like, thank you.
But you know what? I was in the mall last week.
Literally, okay.
I was in the mall last week. I had to text Ebony when I got back home. And I was like, bruh, I just saw two guys with some long dreads walking through Sears. Because, I found the little cut where I could get in and out the mall, really quick. And
One of them side doors.
Yeah, and they was walking right there. And I was like, oh, my God.
Well, were they good type
They were
dreads?
neat.
They had the AJ side.
They were neat. Out there down south.
Okay, y'all not gonna do that. My friends with the Miami Dade County dreads. The elephant trunks are what I call them.
They were actually the neat locks.
I like those.
Yes,
those can work.
You got to have neat and
if you
fresh
growing
twist.
a fro up under your dreadlocks, you should just shave it off.
Oh, I was gonna say something. Thank you, Jesus.
But have y'all felt lonely within this little time frame of the rain?
Felt lonely?
Yeah.
I went through that last
Just go
week.
to sleep.
I'm good on this week.
You just go to sleep.
Just go to sleep.
Last week. That's now. Recent.
Yeah,
Today.
I was feeling
Every day.
real lonely last week.
No.
Today I was a little because I was listening to Drake, but
Cause you listen to that sensitive cry.
Sensitive Drake.
That's what I like. It speaks to my heart on so many
That's
levels.
what's wrong with you.
What she's listening to is made for 13-year-olds.
Now that was a low blow for Tree.
Okay, but what she's saying is
All that shade.
she's bringing up that Drake is now currently chatting with that 13, 14-year-old girl.
Best friend.
Right, besties now.
Yeah, they're, like he's giving her dating advice, and I'm like,
So
You
just
too wrong.
asking.
Maybe he trying to save her for more bed.
Who really would be okay with their daughter? Not even daughter, because I don't have none. Their sister,
cousin.
cousin, anybody of that age group that you know talking to somebody at 32. How comfortable would you be? Like this,
Even though
for
they're
me,
not
I feel like
dating.
I don't care. I still feel like that's a whole money thing.
No,
You
listen.
can
Even
flip
though
that
they're
on
not
that boy
dating
so
or
quick.
anything,
Sure could.
and you're
And
just
get a
like,
check.
I'm talking to him about dating advice. Like, what? I mean, I have younger cousins, and what? We ain't got nothing to talk about.
Right. I
No.
feel like if it wasn't Drake, they wouldn't allow that.
Yeah.
But because of who he is
Uh-huh,
and
and
what
what
the
he
outcome
has.
could be, they're gonna allow that.
That's a setup.
I wish.
Have y'all seen Daddy's Little Girls?
Yeah,
that
it's been a long
man
time.
was in that similar situation where someone lied
Oh,
on him
yeah.
and ruined his
His
scholarship,
career,
and
yeah.
then his whole
Yeah.
life tailspin.
But the
I
thing
guess
is,
only time will tell.
well, Tiger was talking to Kylie for how long, and she was underage.
Tiger's an
Wait a minute, Tiger
Tiger.
Woods?
That's who I
Then it dawned on me that it's
the
rapper. He's a
Okay,
rapper.
who they just really
Rack City.
T.Y.
That's Tiger, not Tiger Woods.
Many man Tiger.
Lord,
He was over
He was like 25 and Kylie was like 17 and 16 when they were on IG together, and it's like, y'all are talking.
But I feel like that particular family sets those scenarios up. Like,
But we're not saying Drake is dating her.
Yeah.
We're just saying that
it's an
They're
odd situation.
best friends.
yeah, it's just odd. We're
And
not
would-
saying that he's dating her
And
at all.
would you
I
want
didn't have
your
any.
daughter to be best friends with a 30-year-old?
Nah.
No.
You get
Because
you
she,
getting
she
into the
maybe,
jugular
if
right off the
she's
bat.
13,
What?
she's in middle school.
Yeah.
She's not even in high school now. That's strange.
And you
ain't
can't
got no
have
cell phone, so
clear
you don't do
conversations with them anyway.
No.
Middle schools think they know everything.
They're like squirrel brain. Like,
They think they know
I'm
everything.
Just curious
squirrel
to how
brain.
Drake met her, how they got
'Cause she's an
exchanged
actress
numbers.
and-
Probably met on Sesame Street.
What did y'all hear? No.
Oh,
No. But yeah, what happened?
I'm the only one lost here, so I'm just
We'll go over it later. But
okay.
so, but Aisha, you've been listening to a lot of Drake this week. What you been listening to, Ebony? You don't do music, but we want to know what
Right,
you
I
been
was
listening
saying,
to.
like, y'all know I don't do music. Calling me out like that.
You posted a couple albums on
I know, she been
No,
trying
that's
to be all.
they be shouting
She trying to
me. That
be
be on my
deep and
radio.
stuff.
That's on my Jonathan Trailer radio on YouTube. So after I play his songs, this is Jonathan Trailer.
It just pops up.
He gets
You know,
my
Ebony
local
still listens to the
photos
radio.
going, so- And I just listen to all my Christian music and stuff like that. Got my Christian bumps. You know?
Who you listening to then?
I have to pull it up. I don't know it off the top of my head.
What about the Walls group?
I love the Walls group, but
You know, Ebony music is like, even when she listens to like non-Christian music, Ebony music, I'd be like,
right, I had to hit me some of that Marsha Ambrosia on the way home though.
Oh, I love her. Yes.
Can't
Bro,
some of those
where's
songs
she
are trigger
going
songs.
to?
yeah, they can be trigger songs.
Where'd she
I
go?
won't listen.
Yeah.
She got married and
And
had a baby.
she's starting to gain her way back too. I guess that with that baby.
I'm all happy with that. I like
Yeah.
it.
Oh, with her,
Marsha
you like Big
Ambrosia.
Marsha?
Yeah, I like a little bit.
Yeah.
Just
It's
healthy
getting
Marsha.
late.
Yeah.
But
She was
she had some
tiny.
cute clothes too. I used to
Girl,
be like,
Marsha
yes,
can dress.
Yeah, her and Jill.
Oh, Jill Scott looks amazing.
Yeah, she's a wonderful dresser.
I wouldn't mind having her
Jill
body.
I wouldn't mind talk. Never mind. I'm not gonna talk to her. Like I like Jill. Love Jill's music, but her outlook and her perspective sometimes, like when
It's
she
off.
talks on topics.
Yeah, it's off.
Really?
I
Yeah.
How so?
I don't know if she a true Christian woman.
Oh, what is she?
Yeah,
Like
so-
she out of wild.
What's
So
she
I
talking about?
listen to her music. I love her energy.
Mm-hmm.
I love when she features on TV shows and stuff like that. I really do love her. I do.
love her acting.
But I don't think I could sit down and have dinner with her.
Yeah.
I don't think.
I'm gonna have to listen to some interviews. 'cause I
Girl.
don't really know like
Girl.
what
She's almost like
she
she's
is.
almost like Erykah Badu to me. like really off the charts, you know. When
love
it comes
them to death,
how
but it's like you know I love you, but it's like you're like that cousin that like we have to agree to disagree on this subject, and it's just when we leave it at that. I love you to death, but it is what it is.
That's crazy. I didn't really.
But you know, sometimes I think that's what happens when you get into that money, though.
But did you ever tell us what you listening to?
I told you I have to look it up.
Okay, I need you to come on now.
I do.
But Satria, while she's looking hers up, what you listening to this week?
Cardi Cortez. Is that his name?
Girl, I thought you were about to say Cardi B. I was like, what?
Zacardi Cortez. Y'all have to listen to him. He has, I don't know if this is a new
what
album.
style of music does he have?
He's Christian, like contemporary Christian. Such a good voice.
Oh, I have to look at
voice. Yeah, look. I'll let y'all hear some of his music a little bit later.
So both of y'all on the Christian vibes.
Yeah, I mean, when I feel like I love Christian music, but especially when things are like not going the best, they just really help to keep me centered. Like, what's his name?
Travis
Mr. Green. Yeah, I love him.
You know,
that song about you
back to
waited.
Dallas,
He will. He comes back a lot.
And you have to be there, Crystal.
Listen, I was on a work trip, living my best life in San Diego, getting a mini message because, like, my boss, like, he is the VP. He's actually really faith-based. So he, in the training, he had gave us a message on Ephesians 3.
What?
And then the crazy thing, full circle, came back around. Our pastor one Wednesday before we started serving, he said some lines that was similar to that message.
Interesting. It's like funny when people are on the same wavelength of what. Because after the pastor talked about the woman with the blood issue, remember? I went and listened to the audio, like Bible of that. And it was just like, man, I need that type of faith.
Yeah, that was
that's
probably one of my favorite stories in the Bible.
I just was asking myself, would you have given up? Like, after all the people, would you say, I
would have been done passed out. Take me on! Like, that just would have been me. Like, I would have been done. I know. Like, I know. I would have.
But you know, it's those are the moments. It's like during those years, it's like it was word of mouth, and you couldn't. You like, you know, is this really real? And their faith had to be like one of those situations. Like, it was much stronger than what we
had to be, because I don't people's disbelief now makes a little more sense to me, because they can't see it with this, but you can't be looking to see it with these eyes. But they saw it with these eyes, and some people still didn't believe, which is crazy.
I think too, for us, it's kind of, I don't know, it sets me back when you can see it with these eyes. It's not happening for you. So instead of us being in a celebration for others, we miss it. Because I might not see the blessings or whatever the miracles happen on my end at this time, but if you just open your eyes and look around and actually take the time to celebrate others, you get that same feeling if you just celebrate with other people. So I think our generation, because we are so in control and so selfish, if we were just to open our eyes and look at the next person's story or the next person's testimony, you can get that same joy by celebrating with them, and then before you know it, it trickles down, and it will be your miracle, your turn. And half the times we're so bombarded with, well, it's not happening for me, or it's not my turn, he's not seeing me, I'm doing all this, and you miss all the joy and all the miracles that he once wanted you to see, because you're so bombarded in just yourself. But because I feel like back in the day, they didn't have social media. They didn't have the newspaper. So what was happening over in the next city, they didn't know nothing about. So just imagine how many days it took for them to even get that they moved on to the next person's miracle. So I didn't see any of that. I didn't have a part of it. Whereas we could pick up our phone, we could watch other people's miracles online. We can live out everybody's miracles next door. We're so close to different people, but we refuse to do that. And it's like there's so much importance in fellowship, and that's why I know I serve and I fellowship with a lot of people, because just being in this season, I feel like I missed out a lot, but it's just growing. But in this season, I've been placed in positions where I can celebrate with other people, and actually it's like God is moving, and he's moving quick, but you don't know he's moving quick if you're just waiting on your story.
As our pastor always tell us that we serve with, just catch the wave. Catch that wave. He says that all the time. Catch that wave.
And so amazing.
Because it's like when I see y'all like when I see y'all go through y'all breakthroughs, and it's like one of those moments I just start crying, and I'm crying.
Like the job thing with her and Isha, I was like, Mama, we prayed yesterday, and today she got the call. My mom was like, my mom called my Liz. And
that's how it happens. It's supposed to be a domino effect. It's supposed to be a domino effect, but
That was crazy.
If you move your domino away from everybody, you will never catch that.
Wow.
You'll never catch it.
That was crazy.
That was amazing. I've never seen anything just so immediately happen
so
like
fast.
that. I was
y'all,
like, whoa.
I was going through that morning. I woke up like, what is wrong with me? I was like, I gotta text them.
That's that pressure before that breakthrough. Pressure before that breakthrough.
Wow. That was
something
amazing.
is coming. They say, what do they say? If you don't feel it, that means you ain't doing it. You know what I mean? Like if you're not making the devil mad, bro. If you don't feel it moving, if you ain't busy,
I just need the devil to leave me alone right now.
that means
We had a mugshot day.
Leave me alone. I'm drinking my water. I'm sticking to my key plan. You know what I'm saying? I'm losing weight and stuff, and here you go. Want to see your little mans bothering me? Leave me alone.
I'm busy right now.
Living my best life.
Okay.
So my song actually is Glory. Evan and Iris. They don't have a full album though. They don't just have like singles.
You get them from?
I've never heard of them in my life.
The YouTube radio. I just be popping up. Evan and Iris, and their
Who
song
knows?
is Glory. I don't know. You might not like it, but you guess who doesn't care?
I probably don't.
Is it like contemporary gospel?
Yeah, some of it's like upbeat.
Is it kind of like our church gospel?
Mm-mm.
No. Like what's a popular artist who's kind of sounds along the lines of?
I don't know.
They probably some folk music.
You know,
they got
it's
It's not folk music. Brittany, keep playing me, bro.
It's not a music.
I like it. I mean, I can't explain it.
Said folk music.
It's not no folk music, so knock it off.
Listen, let me tell you something. Every music be way. I be getting in that car, be like, how you driving in this?
Wait, but who had on the Drake when I got in the car?
This one, you know, I don't
No,
know nothing
but I
about
wasn't.
Drake,
But
bro.
I wasn't listening to that sensitive
Like
Drake.
when you got it, and you said, "Oh, so I wasn't the only one." I'm like,
No,
I haven't listened to not a
but
one Drake
I
album.
was say she showed though. I wasn't
I know
listening to
that
the
guy. I
sensitive
know that
Drake.
guy.
Oh, okay.
And then when I was listening to Views, I was picking the fast songs off of Views. Ask Evan, we was riding yesterday listening to Views. We weren't listening to the sensitive.
Sensitive Drake.
I ain't got time for that. I'll
Is
put on
sensitive-
Gucci Man in a minute.
Is sensitive Drake equivalent to singing Drake? Or
Yes.
can he be sensitive
Yes,
and still
I
rap?
like
that is the Drake you're dealing with. You're dealing with the
Oh,
singing
okay.
Drake,
Yeah.
and he's,
The monotone singing.
you know.
Yeah, and I be like, sing to my heart, I need this. Okay,
So,
I need this. Let me go grab a pillow and cry. Like this. So what are you listening to this week?
okay,
Crystal?
so everything I've been listening to this week, other than like the Jonathan Traylor album, everything has.
Which, hold on, Jonathan Traylor is local. He's from this area.
Yeah, he is from
you haven't
DFW.
listened to this
That's the
album,
concert you went
It's
to?
called
Yes.
Stones and Giants.
If you haven't
Like
listened,
that
please
album
listen.
is good.
I listened
First
to that
song
one.
to the last one. It's really, really
I
good.
think y'all went to
Yeah, I
his
went to his
concert.
concert.
That's right.
Yeah, he's
So
awesome.
if you check that artist out, but other than that one, everybody I've been listening to their albums probably was 2015 and earlier. I'm talking about 90s and 80s. Like I've been stuck on Missy Elliott's first album, Super Duper Fly. Y'all,
when she's in the
took
trash bag.
that album took me back, y'all. It was the best time. Did you ever listen to that album?
I'm sorry.
You really know?
I'm the youngest.
It's my window. I
did know
can't
that
stand the rain.
The first.
Is that her first album?
That is her first.
Okay, I
her
remember
first
that.
solo
What
project.
year
She
did
had
that
the
come out?
bigger
Like,
waves.
let me see, because I was on it.
Which finger
Ninety
waves are
what?
making a comeback?
They are.
Hold on, let me
making a
see,
comeback.
because it's on my heavy rotation. 97.
Oh, I was
Like
five.
it takes
I was
me.
5 or 6.
And then
I was listening to Backstreet Boys and Britney Spears.
I listened to them too. That's
too.
back when I did listen to pop.
Are you saying this week?
No, I'm talking
Oh,
about back
that's
then.
in 97.
I wasn't listening to.
And then
no
I've been
hip-hop.
listening to,
like what is
like-
hip hop? Who are you?
When I'm at work after I turn my Christian music off, like I'll go over to my 80s, my 80s R&B playlist. So it has like Phyllis on there. You got
Phyllis.
Hyman,
yeah.
Tina Marie,
Oh yes.
Prince, Luther Vandross, like
Yes, those are my people.
Mickey Howard. Like
Yes.
that's what I've been vibing with.
If Christian music goes off, it goes to either Erica or Jill. For me,
see, those are trigger areas for me, and I start thinking
especially
about
with
stuff.
this rainy weather.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's like you start thinking about stuff that just you're like, yeah.
Light
But-
the candles, pour up the tea.
The lemonade in this case.
Lemonade.
Yes. Swap out that tea, sis.
You don't need that.
We got some
But yeah, I've been
freshly
listening-
squeezed lemonade for you. Fresh.
I just been
squeezed.
listening to a lot of old songs, like a lot of old stuff. Like it's just right now. I'm thinking music. Right now, they're not rap, especially. It's like I don't know what's.
Did
going
y'all
on.
hear about Lil Wayne was supposed to release the Carter 5?
Keep it. I'm at the point right now.
I don't
with
even know if
him,
it
it's
ever happened.
I've seen him cut his hair.
Just
I don't
keep
think it
it.
happened.
I think at this point, go ahead and keep it. Cause I love the Carter albums, but it's like keep it.
I like Wayne. I can't.
I was thinking about him on the way when I was driving. I said I like when he used to feature on stuff. Like I did like his
When you heard that
analogies and stuff.
Yeah.
when you heard that cigarette
His rap is
lighter,
pretty
you knew
good.
that song was about to be fire.
Mm-hmm.
That cigarette lighter would come on. That remind me of my good college years. You know, getting
I
ready
give
for
them
parties.
that. It's just sad seeing them when they do get into money like that on how.
The demise.
Yeah, I mean he's going down. It's obvious.
We literally
that
are watching
lifestyle
the
is-
demise of Lil Wayne.
Mm-hmm. He looks very bad. He looks very bad. And then to know he has kids out there, you know what I mean? He does not. Doesn't care.
Yeah, and to me, it's like they need their dad. Like when you become a parent, you're no longer living just for you.
Just for yourself,
You're living
yeah.
for someone else. So even when I thought about Tom Cruise, I'm like, wait a minute, because we got to talking about that in the at work. They were talking about how many of those stunts he was actually doing himself, and we talked about that. But did y'all know he actually did that helicopter scene? They taught him like a crash course of flying a helicopter. It's like, you have a daughter. Like, I would want my husband to be the safest that he could possibly be for my
me,
daughter.
That's
but
different.
for me,
though.
I feel like
I would say that's different. Though.
Yeah, I would disagree with that just because I feel like that's just a healthy stressor. You know, he's not.
Yeah.
He's not really physically putting himself.
No,
yes,
he hurt himself on
he's
this one.
Yes, he's hurting himself, but it's not.
When he went into the building, like, he could have, like, bust his spleen.
Again, that's
like,
almost
on
like
that
some
I
people
think that was different.
date police officers and cops. And that's not,
Yeah, that's
it's not or
true.
firefighters. Again, it's not one of my first things. But if that's something you did, you're putting yourself in harm's way.
That's a
for
living.
Good. Yeah, that's a living.
But-
and for him, it's a living.
But
too.
for him, it's a living, but he has an option to get a body double, like most people
And
do.
he does, but
he's
some people
thrill-seeking.
don't like that. Some
Yeah.
people
Really?
like to. Yeah, some people like my movie. I want to look real. I want to be experiencing it, and that's fine.
I
Whereas
just
I feel
think-
like Lil Wayne is actually like, to me, drugs. Putting yourself in shootouts.
Yeah.
Like that lifestyle is what I'm not gonna be happy with. So you're negatively affect. That's like a negative stress. Whereas
That's
what
very
you're doing,
negative.
you're teaching your child to be the best that you want.
Yeah.
That,
And I can see that.
I don't think that just because you have kids, you have to stop.
Well, I don't want you to
living.
stop, but just be more, because you are living for them. And if you die, that's your 5-year-old standing at the coffin, like, no more dad. Like,
If
you don't
it's,
know
like
more
I said,
mom.
if it's drugs and you ODing and stuff dying, I got dog. Now,
And
some
you
you
know-
could have did
but I
something.
mean-
but
and
if
some
you
people
stuck
do-
level, I mean,
Some people do say they're
better
like,
get your
well, at
pounds
least
on
they
the
died
shirt.
doing what they love. But I just
Yeah.
don't want that for my child.
my child
But
was
see,
wearing little t-shirts.
I don't want
with
my
their daddy
I don't
hanging
want my
out.
family to be I don't want my family to be like live your best life.
I want you to live your best life, but also just be careful. Just be as careful as
Because
possible.
you may meet a guy that he likes to do
Thrill.
Yeah,
Thrill
he may
thrill.
jump out of
I don't
planes.
need
Thrill is-
So you mean to tell me if you're talking to a guy and y'all hit it off really good, but he loves skydiving? That's his.
But a lot of times they won't like me because I don't skydive. I don't do.
No,
like,
you don't know.
You don't
You don't
know.
know.
You at home.
Hold on.
I'm
But
gonna
see,
tell you
hold on.
where I'm
Hold
gonna
on.
be is at that target mark where he coming down. I'm gonna be. That's gonna be me cheesing, bro. I'm not going up
I'm
there.
confused.
If he's good with that, then maybe. But
It's a trio. You like football players, and you know they're
Oh
like.
no, I gave that up a long time ago.
Satria,
Well,
you can't be
I
flattering.
You gonna tell me if a football player coming to you right now?
A football.
Yeah. Oh, he did. I'm not. I
in college with football.
I just don't want you to.
No, we're not talking about. I'm talking about their physical health as far as like
They're
they'll
putting
have
themselves at risk.
concussion.
Like here's an
issues,
example.
you know.
Like my dad, what he does is physical. Like he owns his own company, but it's physical. Him and the crew go out and do physical work. He used to play football, not professionally, but like for recreational, like every Sunday with friends. And so they would go out and play, but once he had a family, he was like, wait a minute. Like, I love football, but if I go out here playing in the name of having a good time, break my leg, my family's depending on that check, now what?
We'll just have to make do.
So, Tria,
I do not want my man's or husband
don't do
to
that.
not
I'm about to say
have
you
fun.
go have fun.
That's the same. It's the same as though
'Cause
if
I know-
if they like motorcycles, that's not my means of transportation. But if that's what he likes to do,
That's his thing.
that's his thing. I'm
Like-
not gonna take that from him.
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
get no
That's
Six
why
Flags rides.
I wouldn't take that from him, but I probably would be less out to date somebody like that because I know someone whose husband was just taken from that.
But the
And
thing
I'm
is,
just
the
like,
trio,
But we
we
can't
all
live
hop
like
on
that.
Six Flags rides, and we live
girl,
near that area. And-
Sometimes I'm like, after that lady put her hands up and was like,
I would say, but for me, and it's just the topic of that would be fear. And it's like
That's
you
true.
don't want to
That's
live
very
from a
true.
standpoint of fear because you will never cross. You probably won't ever get to exactly where God is intending you to
That's
go.
true.
with
I just
fear
want a
of fall.
calmer a guy with different. I want a calmer guy with different. What would you call
I
that?
need you to-
Different.
That's boring.
Different.
I would
What,
say I
what
don't want
different?
bored.
What would you
I'm
call
not-
that?
I don't know.
And I
Different-
don't want you doing what I do because
What would you call that? Different.
That's like we just sitting here.
Hobbies.
So
Hobbies.
So what
Hobbies.
we doing?
Well,
What
so
we-
what you teaching me.
and I
know
do
that already.
you can break your thumb
Y'all
bowling.
gonna be doing
That's
arts
true.
and crafts together.
I love
You
that.
can cut your hand with the exacto cut.
You just have to be careful. I think to
And-
me,
but that's the same attitude he'll have to go with playing football, riding a motorcycle, getting
just
on.
be
You
careful.
have
No,
to
I
be
get where you're
careful.
going with that. I think you can live your best life, but still be careful. Like
I don't want you to
there's
take
a way.
your
Like even
motorcycle and chase trains.
even with
And that's
working
just
out, there's still a
storm
way to
chase.
do it in the healthiest way, like
Exactly.
the safest way. Like they taught us when you're doing lunges, don't let your knees go in because then you will
Right.
be good. So you can do things, but still be careful. And that's what I would want to drive home is not fear, but you're gonna do it right and be careful. Don't be careless because then you could really hurt yourself.
Because
And
people
then
can say they don't like the job that I do, put myself in danger.
Girl, because what you did in the
But
beginning,
what
having
you
to go.
do?
She was a
yeah, that's
caseworker,
right.
had to go out there to the bad parts of the area, so she could like
with chains and sticks around their necks. They
shootouts
push
been
you.
done just happened, and she got to go check up on a client.
Oh,
And I'll still do it to today.
that's crazy. Why don't you do it anymore? What happened?
Moved up, baby.
Why
Had
don't
a
you do it?
lead position now.
No
But yeah,
longer
I just-
in the field.
But I also think God knows, like, when I see these different kingdom couples where I really do feel with all my heart that God put y'all together. It's like, it's perfect. Whatever it is, it's like, this makes so much sense.
What if God put you with that man? It's just that is what it is to break you out of that.
I don't know. We'll just have to have, you know that song, Have a Little Talk with Jesus. Tell him
Because
all-
I always
tell him all
laugh
about
because
her.
I be like, I think I'm gonna end up with a guy like I'm very. When I go to 100, I go to 100. I'm pretty sure God is gonna put me with a guy like looking at me like, Chris, I ain't know why you up here
See,
doing all
and
that.
I think he puts us with people to challenge us, to bring us out, but
grow
also
you.
to grow you. Just, he knows what you need. And if he knows how many hairs on each of our head, he knows us. So he knows what's gonna enhance us to make us better. So I really do think that's why it's not in my hands.
How many
you know,
times do you guys say you guys will think about that daily? On how he actually knows us?
Yeah. Really
Boy,
well.
because he be putting me in situations like, now you gotta really depend on me. You thought it was you. You thought you had control of this. You thought you knew what you were doing, and you really have to depend on me on this. You
So
have
true.
to come to me for
I think-
this.
I forgot. It was one post they had said that it's like he created the oceans, the stars, and all this other stuff, and then at the bottom it just said how do you, like. So he created you. So to know that all that stuff was needed, like the on Earth, we need all of that, and then he placed you here too. Why wouldn't you think that he needed you too? So from that standpoint of need, that you're here for a reason. There's purpose for you.
That's just powerful.
Yeah, thinking about that. Would you guys have any encouraging words for our listeners? as they
Just
go
what you
out
just
their
said.
way.
I mean, just know how special you are and walk in it. Rest in it.
Walk in your purpose, but at the same but at the same time, walk in your purpose. And with that being said, don't be caught up in social media right now, and we're walking into fall season, winter season, and picking up people that you don't need to pick up with just to fill a void and not thinking about the stuff that you, how should I say it? I'm trying to think of how to say it. Don't try to pick up people and fill voids, but to fill them just with no intentions on to do better in life. I'm trying to think of how to say it.
Like just picking up somebody for a season.
Yeah.
And
There
not
you go,
really-
Aisha. I'm trying to,
because God
not
will fill that
having
void.
any other intentions, but for that season, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I mean, most of the times, when, like you said, when you have a void, God is who needs to fill it, not just a random person who you feel you need to be booed up with because the holidays are coming. I agree.
yeah.
Totally agree. Be intentional as our God.
Yeah.
I just want to quickly talk to you guys about voting. The last day to register to vote is October the 9th, so please get out there, register to vote. Do not miss this opportunity. You know, not our forefathers, but you know, our people fought for this right. So please make sure y'all get out, register. Voting is so important, and the day to vote is going to be November 6th. So make sure you know your location to vote. Just vote. Vote. Unless y'all want the orange man. I'm just saying. Like, what? I mean.
I just have one more, not announcement, but I guess our business shout out before we leave.
Oh, yeah.
We were able to go to Dave & Buster. So I know some people probably have gone. But we got to go together. It was very awesome. They have some new food coming out there. We're going to be putting up the pictures and things on the website soon, and just our overall view of it.
Yeah.
I would have to give it, would we say four bushels?
Yeah,
of
the food is for the holiday season is going to be really good.
really good. I would say better than last year's food. Games, if you have a group of 4, perfect game was Tomb Raider. 4 guns, 4 girls. It was we could have been on there for hours.
That was super
If I had my
legit.
choice, I'd put that in the basement if I had one. And then what was another game we were all on? That basketball shoot. Basketball shoot.
Or
It
I'm
was
hurting.
Connect 4.
Yeah, basketball connect
Just
four.
or I'm
That was
hurting.
fun.
Just I can't shoot no more.
Right. So, well, hopefully we can one day schedule something, be out in the community. We'll let y'all know as well where we are. But just going forward, we'll always do shout out some type of business or review or something like that, and it'll be on the blog page. So I think that's it, ladies.
Make sure you guys follow us at Lavender Lemonade on Instagram. Check out our YouTube channel, which you can find the link on our personal IG pages, on our Lavender Lemonade Instagram, as well as on our website. And we look forward to talking with you guys next week. Have a good week.
Also, before we go, make sure you guys, if you have any questions or any comments, to email us on the website as well. We'll get those and we'll try to get back to you guys. And if not, read them on the show.
Hey, thanks so much for listening, guys. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.